First and foremost, there is a difference between play and play therapy. When we are saying play therapy, that means it is a psychotherapeutic process where there will be a certified play therapist who will be facilitating the play session for the child rather than dictating. I will be very proud to reveal that I have myself, undergone play therapy for 5 years, being an adult, from a psychoanalyst. Keeping aside the screen, just let the child play. Even through play, they can even study. Play is nothing कि बच्चा बिगड़ रहा है. Rather, play facilitates. Not only play, the child will be put in multidisciplinary team as well, like a speech therapist, like an occupational therapist.
What was the play therapy techniques that you used? Were they different from the play therapy techniques that you use for pretty much everyone else?
Very honestly,
Hi there, and welcome to the India Autism Center podcast. I'm Sakhi Singhi, and I'm so excited that you're here today because today we'll be talking about something not just exciting but also incredibly impactful: how play can help children with autism. So, play is something so simple and something that we take truly for granted. But do you know that play can actually help children manage their emotions, develop social skills, and also aid in early intervention? Well, we'll uncover all of this here today. And today, to help us do that, we have Pooja. So, welcome, Pooja, to the show. And Pooja, you have been a play therapist. You have decades of experience in play therapy. You've created, you've helped implement these play therapy techniques, and you've brought so much meaningful change over the years. And I'm so grateful to have you here on the show today. You're someone that I see pretty much every day, but we've never really had this discussion. And this is a discussion that is genuinely something that I'm truly excited to have with you. So I'm going to start with something extremely simple. Explain what is play, Pooja.
okay, Sakhi. If I give you toys right now, what will you do? You're an adult, right?
Yeah.
So what will you do if I give you some teddy bear, a toy set, a kitchen set, a plumbing set? What will you do?
I think I'll just fidget with it. I'll fidget with it. I'll like look at the textures. I'll feel it. I'll see how it feels in my hands. I'll squeeze it. I mean, I'll just shake it up. I mean, I think I'll play with it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And I can see that inner child coming out.
Yes.
Even you do not have toys around, but when I'm asking about toys and play, you have a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Right? So what you are telling, I can rephrase it. You will try to explore.
Yes.
Right? The texture, the color.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And that is something which is not meaningless. It has a meaning if I observe and interpret.
Okay.
So play, it is the very essence of development for children.
Okay.
So when children they play, it is not only they are manipulating with toys, actually it is a tool through which they communicate, they express their needs. We know children, they have limited cognitive sophistication, like verbal development and other aspects of development. As a result, you and I, how we can communicate with the world, how we can, rather be in sync with others, they may not have that level of functioning because not of their deficits, but because of their current developmental level.
And
So the play world, the playroom, it is a miniature world for them where each and everything has a meaning, a symbol. Like the tent, it symbolizes the mother.
Okay.
Like the car, it symbolizes the mother. The water, so a nourishment that they generate, take from mother. The mountain, father. So they come to the playroom and whatever conflicts, whatever, emotional concerns they have, they try to manipulate. They try to channelize it. So play in every form is very essential for children across all aspects.
Okay.
It is not only the typical ones, it is also for the neurodivergent children. Children तो सब same होते हैं भले.
Correct.
So play भी सबके लिए समान है. It works wonders.
Right.
So I'm not talking about therapy, it's about play.
Right. So you mentioned that play is an exploration, and is it that this exploration is the same for, let's say, um for a lack of better word, normal bacche, or autistic bacche? Are they exploring with play? Are they both doing the same thing?
Even when you are talking about neurotypical children, they are unique. We all are unique. So how can our play be the same?
Okay.
So definitely age appropriately they play. At times it is not age appropriate play or the fidgeting, the manipulation with toys, but play has a meaning that is consistently same for all,
Right.
with the unique manifestations that are coming on, because we all human beings are different. If you and I we play together, our play will be different from each other.
Right. So if let's say there's a child who really enjoys playing and for some reason we are, you know, मेरे दिमाग में जो play therapy है, and I don't know much about play therapy, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it that play therapy is putting a structure to play? And for me, I feel like if I'm given a structure in anything, it will only make it more exciting. But if you give me a structure in play and you tell me that fiddle with the teddy bear like this or play with the Play-Doh like that, it's just going to make it really worse for me. Like, I'm not going to enjoy play. I'm not going to be able to explore it. I don't know how that will help me in my communication. Like, I'm understanding that, let's say there's a child who's 3 years old and is having some frustration that they're not able to express. They take it out in their play. It's a cathartic process for them in their play. But if other this child, I take him to, let's say, a play therapy, and where they tell him ki aise karo and do this and do that, I don't know how productive that experience would be for the child. So can you tell me how play therapy is different from that of play? And what are we channeling when we're trying to do play therapy with children, both neurotypical and neurodivergent children? What is exactly the difference between play therapy in this
I'll come to that, Sakhi. First and foremost, there is a difference between play and play therapy.
Okay.
When we are saying play therapy, that means it is a psychotherapeutic process where there will be a certified play therapist who will be facilitating the play session for the child rather than dictating what the child needs to do.
Okay.
So, in a play therapy room, there will not be one single child. There will be a heterogeneous group of children. The play therapist will be an active observer,
Mm-hmm.
may not interfere with what the child is playing.
Okay.
The therapist will facilitate, will observe. Based upon the observation, it will be a non-directive play. That
Mhm.
is the comfort zone, that is the comfort area of the child. The child may not wish to play. The child may simply lie down, meaning that is not meaningless.
Right.
The child is getting that assurance, that comfort,
Right.
and the child is relaxing. At times we see children sleeping. Do we wake? Now you have to play, you have to play. I'm really sorry, that is not a play therapy.
That is not play therapy.
That is not therapy. That is not therapeutic.
Okay.
Even at home, we do not ask parents कि खिलाना है, खेलना है बच्चे को. No. So the children, they will play at their own pace in a heterogeneous group. That is the observation of the therapist. But is it only observation? No. So after the observation is done, now the therapist, in a very non-directive manner, will try to figure out by asking non-directive question if the child is able to.
Correct.
For neurotypical children, we usually, even a 3-year-old, 4-year-old can typically express their play in their own way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based upon that, even parents are called.
Okay.
The play observation, at times, the therapist in their own way will convey to the parents
Okay.
what they have seen, what needs to be done.
So, Pooja, if you can tell me, so what you're saying is that through play therapy, there is an observer who is understanding how the strengths and weaknesses of the child, so to speak, through play, right? Which is really important. I think during the early development stage, this is extremely important for parents to know what is going well and what's not. So can you tell me what exactly is the relevancy of play? How would you explain that to a parent? And where does the concept of play therapy really come in? कि एक parent को कैसे पता चलेगा कि maybe my child would do well in a place with a play therapist so that the play therapist can identify my child's strengths and weaknesses. Where do you draw this line?
Right. I will come at from the very grassroots level.
Okay.
So the child is manipulating various toys. Each and every toy has a symbol meaning. So I will be seeing, I'm talking about the neurotypical children, then I will be coming to the neurodivergent children as
Okay.
well, because there is a variation in perception. So for neurotypical children, I will be seeing with which toys are they playing, they will be asking in a non-directive manner to narrate a story out of those toys. If they are able to verbalize, I'm getting to know the conflict areas. They very beautifully say. Like a child would say, he's throwing ball at the tent. Like in Bangla verbatim, I will be, আমার ভালো লাগছে, বাড়িটা পড়ে যাচ্ছে, he's just throwing it. If you could see, in very rigorous manner.
He's being destructive.
Yes, very destructive play, and specifically with that particular tent.
Acha.
He is preoccupied with that.
Okay.
So whenever I'm asking, the child was emotionally in a very turmoil situation and he was not able to properly verbalize. I call the mother. So interaction with the mother, interaction of the mother with the child through case history, through interaction with the mother, I came to know that there were conflicts with the mother. Even there were parental discord that was very well revealed in the play. Through gradual, it is not a magic. The parents were cooperative, receptive enough. They would come every time the child would do.
Yeah.
Gradually, through, it is not only play. Again, I was working with the parents at well.
Yeah.
How the child evolved and how the play, gradually the child came out of the tent. And he would rather relate with the real toys over there. Like the kitchen set, like, the car, and the conflicts were getting resolved. Now, how would I know? At home, the parents were also telling that the mother was trying to, again interact with the child, leaving aside her stress and emotions. The bond was building. The child was able to express, জানো তো মা এরকম করে ম্যাডাম, আন্টি জানো তো এরকম করে, ভালো লাগে না আমার. So gradually the child has evolved. It took months.
But this emotional regulation, Pooja, that the child, that your student was showing, this, I'm guessing, can only happen if there's a play therapist observing the child in play and who is able to explain to the parents that, ये जो play therapy का exercise है, it's a very collaborative exercise. ये बस play therapist can't help the child emotionally regulate how the play needs to be. What I'm trying to understand, Pooja, because this is something that I was reading about, is that there's a lot of disagreement online as to is play therapy really something that works or doesn't work. And the main reason that the disagreement was happening was, how do you know that the play therapist is actually someone who's a good observer? And how do you know if the play therapist is someone who is observing ethically and without any judgment? Where, what are your thoughts on that, Pooja? Because I'm guessing that, seeing a child at play is almost observing them at its most vulnerable and really having an inside peep into what's happening in the child's life. How do you navigate this territory?
Sakhi, I will be very proud to reveal that I have myself, undergone play therapy for 5 years, being an adult.
Oh.
From a psychoanalyst.
Oh,
I have seen, being an adult, so this is a myth, play therapy works only well with children.
Okay.
Even adults with vulnerabilities, even you can have a play therapy session. It's a cathartic process, things comes out. I have undergone play therapy from a leading play therapist in Kolkata, and I have seen, being at this age, I have seen there have been changes in me as well. So, play therapy is authentic. Now, in psychology, whether that is an advantage or a disadvantage, there are qualitative aspects as well. It is not a science.
Correct.
Social science.
Yeah.
So, doctors prescribing medicines, the blood report, it's normal. But this is therapeutic. As a therapist, I can understand, being a mother, I can understand that at times we doubt the authenticity of the therapist. It has happened. They have gone to the therapist. Very honest, in my field, I'm telling, it hasn't worked. The vulnerabilities have come out, but that could not be healed inside the child. That has also happened. So I will always say it is the experience and the certification of the therapist as well. It is the experience.
Yeah.
I cannot guarantee that, a child will come and gradually get healed. सबके लिए सब डॉक्टर सूटेबल नहीं होते हैं. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि प्ले थेरेपी काम नहीं करता है, क्योंकि मैंने खुद अंडरगॉन किया है. I know its efficacy. It works.
So this is something, like you said, qualitative in nature. This is something that is extremely complex. This is something that requires someone who is a trained observer. Now, this is the case for even neurotypical children, right?
Right.
But you add children with a neurodivergent condition in this. And what is the significance of play and a play therapist for them then?
So I will first differentiate between play and play therapy.
Yeah.
Play is needed for everyone. So even we adults, we should laugh, we should play
Yeah, correct.
for the holistic development. For the play therapist, we always say that this child-centric approach, there is again, a difference of opinion. Ki hamesha this unstructured play, will it work for them? Will it work for them? I say yes, it works for them. I
Yeah.
have seen. So, like I said, nothing is meaningless in the playroom. You have to give the child that space to work.
Correct.
So I'm not expecting that the child will prepare a doll set and tell me and come up with stories.
Correct.
The child I know has underlying symptoms that will come out in that way. But even for neurodivergent children, Sakhi, child-centered play therapy is essential. It works wonders. And especially when we are working in a group of heterogeneous children.
Can you give me an example?
Yes, I will. There has been a child,
Hmm.
maybe 2.5 years old.
Okay.
We usually start play therapy from 3 because at that point, the verbal skills are developing.
And this was a child that you knew came to you with, maybe you knew their condition or you did not?
No, I knew. We take history from parent, before putting the child into the playroom.
Okay.
So for 2.5, with any condition, I will prefer the child to come in the playroom because that is an exposure altogether.
And in the playroom, there are children, like it's an inclusive classroom.
Inclusive classroom.
Absolutely inclusive.
So I won't say classroom.
I mean, not a classroom, like a
children
playroom.
from any socioeconomic status, any background, the more heterogeneous it will be, the more efficacious the play therapy will be. The child would come initially autism-like features.
Okay.
We do not usually
But
say.
in 2.5, how can you tell?
Definitely, the child shows symptoms.
Yeah.
We know that autism, it can be screened as early as 18 months.
But were you confident, meaning the child, you weren't confident, but you'll have...
Yes, yes. The play was autism-like. There was speech delay.
Okay.
I was finding out that, the developmental delays were there.
Right.
The child would not speak, completely mute. By 2.5, 3, we know children start speaking. Definitely the speech was not there. Lack of eye contact, poor eye contact, I will say. Repetitive, very stereotypical, would come and crib on my lap. I would be non-directive. So again, like a tree, falling down, coming up. So all children, madam, কি হয়েছে? Auntie, didi, বাচ্চাটার কি হয়েছে? কথাই তো বলিস না। তোরা কথা, and children, I will say, they are excellent, acceptors. They accept others unconditionally.
Yeah.
কি রে ভাই আয়, খেল আমাদের সাথে আয়। So I would give them the, onus, please take him. দেখো কথা শুনছে না বাচ্চাটা। ছেলে ভাই কথা শুনছে না। দেখো কি করবে। So he was initially crying because again, and we would say that, please be out, let him cry. That is a way of expressing, right? Crying never kills anyone.
Correct.
It is also cathartic.
It is.
So I'm just giving a nutshell because it took months. So the child would initially cry, later on sit beside me for some assurance, going to them, not even playing, observing. And at the end, I would say, Sakhi, that the therapy did not continue for long because they had to go. Somehow it got terminated. The child would do, ah. So that, the speech sounds, it was coming out. And the parents said, ma'am, improve korche. Onno bachchader moton na, but he was improving at his pace. He was fighting, expressing his need. He needed a ball.
The change was incremental, but there was change.
It was qualitative. Yes, it was gradual.
Yeah, there was progress.
Similarly, for divergent children, when they are coming inside, we sensitize the children in the playroom. They are good in receiving things rather than we adults.
Yeah, 100%.
They so সবাই একরকম হয় না, 5 fingers are not the same. There will be others, they may not be like you. And they accept them so well, Sakhi, that unconditional acceptance, 9, 10 children playing together, fighting with one ball, the way they reconcile, the way they negotiate.
But don't you think, like, in this case with your student, whose example that you're giving, with how big was this classroom?
It was 9 or 10. Usually we take 7, but we don't refuse. They come in group, it's 9.
So you're trying to say that all of these children were actually participating and playing with...
No, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Some children, they are also children. They take their time.
Yeah.
If a child rejects the other child, that is also a reality, which we have to teach children. Not everyone will be as accepting as you feel. But saying that, they are very flexible. If we keep on sensitizing them, it's even, something they haven't seen
Yeah.
like that before. Even they are surprised.
So, are there any play therapy techniques that you use in the case to help them, build their social skills to maybe include the child who has this neurodivergent condition? Or are there any, like, I'm interested to know, and I'm sure that the viewers are also really interested to know how the neurodivergent child, what was the play therapy techniques that you use? Were they different from the play therapy techniques that you use for pretty much everyone else?
Very honestly, not exactly different.
That's actually such a candid answer because Pooja, I was just reading this post about something that how we upsell things by calling it therapy to someone who's neurodivergent, right? कि हम लोग, किसी चीज को भी therapy मतलब अब we'll call it therapy and then we'll say, yeah, this is specifically for neurodivergent people, but it's actually, and then you upsell it, you make it like 20% markup, 30% markup because it's a therapy. So I'm so refreshed, like it's refreshing to hear this answer from you very candidly ki it's not anything different.
Not exactly. Yeah. I'm demarcating the child. For every one of us, like I say, play is unique and play is same for all. What I will do is that I will be cautious. There may be certain self-injurious attitude. There may be certain hazardous attitude. The child may harm himself unknowingly or others. I will try to sensitize the others, not directly stigmatizing the child. দেখো সবাই এখানে আলাদা তুমি কি করবে দেখো ভাই কি করছে it is the way of interacting and conveying the message in a very childlike way, age appropriately. They take it very well. So it is nothing. And Sakhi, I will give you one example. When we go to a doctor, is it completely that the treatment for a patient who is having some cardiac thing ekdam alag isko alag rakhte hain? There are overlapping diabetes and heart issues. What do the doctors first do? They take the symptoms. It's symptom based.
Correct.
Right? It is cardiac man ekdam separate. No, it is overlapping. Similarly, therapy. If we go by the jargon terminology, if we keep it aside, as a therapist, I know what I have to do. I know the rationale behind it. Let me put it. It is not compartmentalized. कि इन बच्चों के लिए बाबा यही करना है, इनके लिए वही करना है. It doesn't
I think
work.
that is so important for people to know that there is really not anything different that you're doing
Right.
when there is a child who is neurodivergent in the playroom versus a neurotypical child. You're anyways observing every child differently. So there is no different play therapy technique
No.
that
No.
you employ in that case.
No, I will say it is child-centered, non-directive. That works.
Yeah. So has play, Pooja, with any other example that you can give, helped you? Let's say that you had a student that's come in, and the parents are not sure about the symptoms. They're not sure if there is anything, so to speak, different with their child. Have you noticed some red flags and let the parent know and concluded with something that has helped the child grow, that has helped with the child's intervention?
Right. So initially, Sakhi, my approach is that because I'm a play therapist, I do have a playroom, a well set up playroom. Initially, I speak with the child, I speak with the parents. I do not come to any conclusion. I take the child to the playroom. If I see it is not annoying or disturbing, but there are certain indicators. For example, a child typically who faces abuse, fiddling with snakes, too much of destructive play, it comes out. We are not magicians. Again, even at times we assume कि कुछ तो हो रहा है, something is happening. So the first day the parents come with lot of expectations and apprehensions. I cannot say मैंने तो ये देखा है. Does this mean this? No. When I see the red signals, I assured the parents that when you have come, let's believe the intervention procedure. But I expect कि you do these because they also want some takeaway. कि मैम ने कुछ बताया है. We have to do that. So in a very non-judgmental way, till we meet in the next session, it is expected we do these. And because parents they get threatened, घर पे जाके वही बच्चे को खेलने देंगे कि तुम फिर से खेल के बताओ तो this has happened. We do not tell exactly what has happened in the playroom, but in a nutshell we give them. And next time when they come, it is a therapeutic process. We counsel the parents. There are certain red flags we see that initially something is happening. What is leading to that kind of play? So eventually.
So then has this helped in maybe a diagnosis somewhere? Has this helped?
Yes, I will come. It is not about a neuro Uh, it is about a neurotypical child.
Okay.
Okay. So they were twins.
Okay.
It was back 6-7 years. So both of them were, siblings. So one was 5 year, the other was 3 year. They would come, and I also did my play therapy course of fresh. I was young at that time. The children were playing, especially the girl. She was fiddling with this constantly with the snake. It was like saap kha jayega mujhe saap. Dekho, shh, shh, shh. Usually, children can play with snakes, but there was a preoccupation
Okay.
with snakes and everything. So I had a brief history from the mother. So I went back and I could corroborate. It was a case of sexual abuse. The mother gave me, and it was such a fresh how the symptom it matches. These are all Freudian symbols.
Yeah.
Again, it is qualitative. There is no scientific evidence. Like we get the symbols in dream.
Right.
We think what has happened, but those are symbolic in nature.
Right.
So the child was in a trauma. We do not diagnose children at such tender age. Again, we go by the symptoms.
Of course.
So repeatedly the child would come and fiddle with snakes in a very destructive manner. And there was a very painful history of abuse. So gradually again coming out of that, it took time and it is taking time. But we can see we do not merely diagnose on the basis of play. Diagnosis, our case history, if we need assessments,
Yeah.
we come to a collaborative
Yeah.
approach. But play is a very important tool, even for adults. They are not able to express themselves. Taking their, consent, do not feel humiliated that I'm taking you to the playroom. At times, it comes out through play.
So how much observation is good enough observation for you to maybe flag it to a parent, or for you to understand that this requires maybe more intervention than that of a play therapist?
For children, Sakhi, usually play therapy works.
But
Apart
how,
from,
how many
I will tell you.
sessions, or
It is dynamic. Again, it is qualitative. It depends from child to child. We come to a conclusion by 4 or 5 sittings. Ki this is the trend, this is the pattern. But like I said, it is something which is not magical. Ki 10 sessions mein ye ho jayega. Like, the doctors, they prescribe a course of medication. But it depends on their receptiveness. It depends on the child's severity of the problems. Maybe at times the conflicts are not resolved.
right?
It is not resolved. We cannot take the responsibility that ye resolve hoga hi. But improvements are seen. And parents and children, they are the best judges.
Correct.
There is nothing, ki blood test ki hua nahi hua. They come up with answers.
Correct.
Ki it is working, ma'am.
Correct.
And when it is working, they come to us.
With play therapy, you had mentioned also at the beginning, there was something called child-centered play. What is it again?
It
Child-centered.
is simply non-directive play, we say. It is unstructured.
Okay.
The child will play at its own pace, selecting the toys with whatever the child comes. That is the product of the child. We will work with that.
I'm just a little amused. Like, how do you convince a parent that this will help? Like, if I know that this is helpful, I know that there's, like I mentioned, incremental progress. धीरे धीरे कुछ change होगा, धीरे धीरे observations जो आपको as a therapist मिलेंगे, आप families को बोलोगे, and families फिर देखेंगे कि अगर change हुआ कि नहीं. When I'm sure कि parents come and they're like, ये क्या हो रहा है? ये क्या, like, how is this exactly individualized for my child? How is this really child centered? When playroom में एक section ये है, एक section वो है, child is doing whatever the hell the child wants. Let's be honest. How do you convince a parent the difference between this child directed play, or what do you call it? What is the word again for it? Non-directive play versus unstructured play, and what exactly is the difference between the two when you have to tell a parent who has a child, let's say with autism, the difference between the two.
Right.
Because anyways these parents are in denial. Anyways these parents, let's say parents who come to you, who have seen these symptoms, who've sort of gone to a bunch of other therapists and maybe have not seen incremental progress. How do you tell them that this is probably a way that you can explore?
Sakhi, first and foremost, we do not use any jargons with parents. ये child-centered play है, unstructured. When parents come to us, initially we interact with the parent, right?
Right.
We give them the safe space to speak. So We take the child to the playroom. The parents never deny कि you take. Why? Because they know rather than giving medications, जहाँ पे doctors बोलते हैं, therapists, they come with lot of bitter experiences. They are quite comfortable when we take the child to the playroom.
And the parent is not supposed to be there in the playroom.
Ideally, no.
Ideally.
There is a one-way glass at times. Now, everything is customized, Sakhi. It is nothing yes or no. What suits? Usually, we don't keep the parents because they even what they see, they misinterpret, they go home and they play with the child in that manner, right? That is again contraindicated. But nothing is कि यही होना है, ideal. But everything, things are not bookish and ideal. We have to customize based upon the need of the hour. So we tell the parent कि हम बच्चे को लेके जा रहे हैं, थोड़ा observation, the child will play. Now, it depends on us कि हम बच्चे को observe करके we give something concrete, some concrete feedback to the parent.
Okay.
कि see, these things are observed. घर पे भी क्या ऐसा होता है? So if we are properly observing, if we are giving some concrete things to the parents, some positive assurance, they definitely turn off for play therapy. So it is nothing कि बच्चा खेला बच्चा चला गया. I'm actually telling them, narrating them कि what is happening in the play. Things are real. These are the real play of the child. So again it is parent centered. Some parents, they are still apprehensive.
Yeah.
They
They'll
want
continue to
something
be.
quantitative.
Yeah.
They won't be coming. Some parents, they are in a dilemma कि ma'am, no, we rely on you.
Right.
And they come back.
Got it. So if you're enjoying so far, make sure to like and subscribe so that we can come up with more exciting such podcasts for you. So Pooja, I have another question for you, and this is probably going to be one of my last questions is, I don't think everyone has the luxury to go to a play therapist. And I don't even know how many play therapists are there today in the country, if there are enough. What can parents of children with autism do? What can their caregivers do to bring this magic into their everyday life? Ki, आप यहाँ से start करो. Of course, no one's a licensed play therapist, and no one, to the viewers also, please, you are not going to make these judgments, but use this to see if your child is displaying some self-destructive behaviors, or use this to see if your child is struggling with social skills. Is there something,
Right.
some technique that you can give people that will help these
Right.
parents?
So again, I will generalize. It is not only for, neurodivergent or neurotypical children, for all children. We usually say, you please build a play zone at your house. What will that play zone comprise of? All real world objects that can be symbolized in play.
Okay.
A doctor set, a kitchen set. For example, a small tent house.
Right.
One male doll, one female doll.
Okay.
Everything that is, representing, even some skill building sensory toys, you make that play zone at
This
the
is
corner.
for ages,
For any child.
but age?
Age, for example, for divergent children, maybe a little because they have that, the cognitive sophistication is lacking. 14, 15, 16, it works. Usually we say play therapy, it's meant for children for 3 to 13 years.
Okay.
So that is the phase play therapy works. But like I said, it even works for adults.
Right.
So
Right.
play has no age.
So let's say it's a parent with a child who has autism, to make this play zone still, even if they have not seen the child at play, to still create this play zone is a start, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So let the child play. It will be a messy play. They will mess up. At times you want to communicate something to the child. In a very play way fashion. See, this is cup. This is tea. We are making tea today. So they will enact what we say role play, and then generalizing that into real kitchen room. The child needs to visit the doctor. We do it even for small children, right?
Correct.
So taking the doctor's set. So this is just a role play
Right.
with whatever toys they have.
Right.
And let the parent even sit without judging the child. Be a facilitator. Sub skill will chhod ke at least for half an hour. You sit there. If the child calls you to his play, go there, facilitate the child.
But don't interrupt.
Don't ये खेलना है, वो खेलना. No.
Okay.
Let the child select. If the child is even not able to select, you select the toy, but facilitate. कि आज हम भाई किचन सेट में ये चिकन कुक करने वाले हैं.
Right.
मसाला दे, ये दे, वो दे. So what is happening? Again, we know children learn better with, when there are real exposure, real objects. So you are doing it with toys, you generalize it.
Right. Right. So parents need to collaborate on the child's play. if the child has autism or does not have autism, they still should collaborate in the play.
Yes.
We've heard of screen time,
Yeah.
Pooja. Like everyone is very particular. Ki iPad you will get on a Sunday for 2 hours. Does playtime also have a start and an end, or are we always at play? Should the child always be at play?
Definitely.
So the child can always
Yes. Even studies can be done in a playful manner.
right.
So there is nothing ki 15 minute, 20 minute screen time ke liye they give time, because see, I'm even a working mother. We know even mothers, they have this burnout,
Right.
and especially with neurodivergent children. But sparing 15, 20, 30 minutes, you sit, keeping aside the screen.
Mhm.
Just let the child play. Even through play, they can even study.
Right.
So play is nothing ki bachcha bigar raha hai. Rather, play facilitates.
So let's say if a parent has created this playroom, okay, and they're noticing that their child has not exactly been playing, and they're noticing that the child is not interacting. Is this the time that they probably have noticed the red flags of autism? Is this and they're taking the course of action for it? A play therapist can help them bring the child, build the social skills for the child, and manage the emotions for the child, like we discussed. Um, is this something that, like, what is the suggestion that you would give to a parent who are noticing these red flags and should go to a play therapist? What are the few things that they should look out for in a play therapist?
Right. So they will be going to the play therapist. Definitely, the way the toys are manipulated, the toys are arranged, the symptoms will be visible.
Mm-hmm.
The symptoms will be visible.
So should they record their child at play? Should they?
It is not needed. It is not needed because they are parents, they know that better. Even at home, the child is displaying the same thing. What is the role of the play therapist? Definitely a group play with other heterogeneous children. It is not that, only with one particular child, play therapy is very efficacious. If things doesn't work out, definitely with a single child, play happens. But in a heterogeneous group, let them put the child over there. Not only play, the child will be put in multidisciplinary team as well, like a speech therapist, right?
Mhm.
Like an occupational therapist. If there are signs of autism, what we say early intervention.
Correct.
The play therapist, being a psychologist, will suggest that. It will be a multidisciplinary approach, but to put the child in group play therapy with other heterogeneous children as well, things will improve.
Do you have any success story to share with us as to how play therapy has worked for any of your clients, Pooja? Someone who has had difficulties maybe in self-regulation or social skills, and how through play that has helped the child?
Yes, there was a child at 3. The parents had initially come for psychological assessment. So it was mild autism. There were strengths and there were deficits of the child. You can understand Sakhi being a 3-year-old girl. She was very restless, hyperactive, and she
Sure.
she belonged to the spectrum. It was not that I was suspecting. Even at 3, at times we suspect कि हो ना हो speech की वजह से हो रहा हो.
Correct.
But the child was diagnosed.
Okay.
When I put the child, it was a small group, very honestly. 3 or 4 children would come based on their preferences. The child would not mingle with them. The friends would come, the friends would take the child. Gradually, sitting from here, the child would go, the child would interact, mingle, try to play with them.
That's amazing.
Simultaneously, lot of advices were given to the parents. Definitely, the play therapist is not a magician.
Yeah.
The parents will have to be very receptive.
Yeah.
Being in the spectrum, the child was developing those subtle social skills. We cannot expect this much change.
Correct.
But the change was there.
That's amazing. So if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned to more episodes where we discuss more about autism, awareness, strategies, and how to help neurodivergent folks around you. Until then, consider watching this video on your screen.